Hello everyone, welcome back to another video where today I want to get a query up and running. So usually for my videos I would like to go through the motions, do all the resource gathering and all the crafting on video, but I felt like I was just taking too much time of the video just doing all of that, so I went ahead and I did some other crafting. As you can see, I made 7 wind generators, the builder that I made last episode, some advanced universal cables, these I already had from quest rewards, and then a lever. Now, of course I had to go gathering some resources and obviously all of that, but yeah, so that's what I did off camera. Just wanted to let everyone know from the beginning. Yes, so I did all this because I want to get right into it. And the first thing we need to make is, of course, the teleportation pad. Now this, you need obviously all the modium, which is why I really wanted to get it. This and the builder require all the modium. So of course this is something you have to go through. Yeah, so this you can place it anywhere. There is different realms or dimensions that you can go to depending on where you place the teleport pad. So for example, in the overworld, if I place this in the overworld, I'll get sent to the mining dimension once I click it. If I put this in the nether, oh, I can't. I guess I have to put it in its forever home for now. I think just here should be fine. Yeah, somewhere here. Let's go with that. As I was saying, if you put this in the nether, you go somewhere else. I can't exactly remember the name of it. If you put this in the nether, I think you go to the beyond, I think is what it's called, or the other. And then if you put this in the end, you go to a void dimension. Obviously, it's been a while since I did anything with this, so, take that with a grain of salt. I'm not too, caught up on it, but that's basically the gist of it. So the way that this works is we shift and then we right click and then we get teleported. Now here is mining dimension. So in this dimension, nothing spawns apart from, just you and the ores. No monsters spawn here. It is perpetually daytime, so there's no day-night cycle here. So you could just mine. So here we can see our chunk borders. And we want these chunk borders visible because we want our setup to be contained within a single chunk, because we're going to actually chunk load this so that it runs even when we're not here. So you get your builder, and then of course you need power. So we're going to put our wind generators all in a line like that. And we'll go ahead and connect this up. Now you need a lever on one side. This is so you can turn it on and off, obviously. And that's basically it for the setup. Actually, no, it's not. We need a chest. So obviously you can always go back. Again, shift right click. And we need a chest. If I knew how to spell. A chest. We'll go ahead and do a double chest and we'll do an upgrade. I don't think I have any, so let's make a basic upgrade. Yes, something else we need are actually the cards that we're going to use. So the way that the builder works is you insert one of these cards, one of these shape cards, and each one of these shape cards does something different. So, for example, the shape card, if I remember correctly, this only places blocks. So, as long as the space that you want to fill out is empty, it'll place blocks in the empty space. And you can customize this so you can do different shapes if you really want to. You can, of course, do the shape card, but you place liquids instead. Really useful for whenever you want to make like an ocean or some sort of, you know, water themed build. The pump card, this takes I just hit the mic there. This takes away water, so it drains water. Again, if you want to do something in the ocean, you can do this easily with this card. I don't want to go through all of these because there's a lot, but the one we need is the clearing fortune query. So we'll go ahead and craft this up real quick. Yeah, so as you can see, this is a little expensive, requiring diamonds, dimensional shards, a bunch of different stuff. And now I need clay. Thankfully, I already have some. Yeah, I'm already running out of power here. I can't charge my battery and run these machines at the same time. So our power infrastructure will definitely need an upgrade as soon as this is done. Probably gonna make another one of those generators. Maybe at least 2 or 3 to sustain us. But for now, that's a future me problem. Yeah, I think I can just burn some coal if I have any. It seems I already had some planks in there. Okay, so with the shape card, we can finally start progressing through these tiers. So now that we have this, I'll go ahead and retrieve my battery. I think I just put it in this spell focus slot, but it doesn't matter as long as it works. What? It's nighttime? I didn't know this was a thing. The last time I was here, I never saw it turn nighttime. That's crazy. Yeah, no, I've only ever seen this place be daytime. I guess I'm just not here enough. So I guess I lied. I told you to take everything I say with a grain of salt. Yeah, okay, so now that we have this, we need an inventory connected, but the inventory that you connect to this builder has to be on top or on the bottom. I just do it on top because it's easier, and with chests, if I put it on the bottom, I wouldn't be able to open it, obviously. So this is the setup. This is how you set this up, and this is how it's going to work. So the builder is going to run. It's going to start clearing out whatever we indicate through this shape card, and then it's going to input the items into the oak diamond chest. And that's why you want as big of a chest as you can afford. And this is going to eat up to 20,000 RF a tick, which is why you obviously want as much power as you can. These are only producing around 300, a little less than 300 FE per tick. So now for this shape card. How do you use the shape card? Well, the way that I like to do it is a lot more work, but it's a lot simpler. It would be to just shift right click, and then you can select a corner. So let's say we'll select this block, and then now, as you can see, it told us to select a second corner. So what we can do is we can mine all the way down. Now, the reason I say this is the way that I like to do it is because you can actually do all of this through the GUI. So this thing, if you shift right click in the air, this has a GUI and you can set it here, but honestly I feel like it's much easier to just do it like this. And so now we set it up. So now that we're up here, we can just right click and that's it. This now is ready to work. So that's the basics. What I would recommend is to go into the GUI again, just shift right click in the air, and then I would avoid everything. I would avoid all of these. Now I don't know exactly what's wrong with, you know, the GUI here, but it's always done this. This kind of like triangle effect, so I'm not sure exactly what's going on there, but it's just visual. There's nothing actually breaking. And then just press match tags, and then that's it. You can put it back in. And now for the moment of truth. As you can see, it'll show you the progress and what chunk out of what chunks you selected it is at. And here it is. So you can see it is very fast. Now this will continue to run until it has cleared up all the chunks that you have selected. And then over here, we're already starting to fill up with all sorts of goodies. Obviously copper is going to be a big one because it's the most common. I might want to put a filter on that to, you know, get rid of the excess copper, because honestly I don't really need all too much copper, and if I ever did, then I could just undo it and get a bunch of copper. But yeah, this is going to be our source of materials for now, at least until later game. I think there might be some better ways to get materials, but for now I think this is probably the best early game way. And obviously we can't supply it with enough power with just these. It's eating through it, but it's at least going fast enough to where we can just leave this and forget it and come back to heaps of materials. Of course, you want to chunk load this. So you want to go to your inventory, click on the FTB chunks claim manager, and then click it first and then shift and right click. And now you have force loaded this. And now this will load no matter where in this world you are, or no matter which dimension you are. You do not need to force load these chunks. You only need to force load the chunks in which the machine is at, and obviously your power. So these chunks that are getting dug out, they don't matter. You don't need to put those in as force load. Now that we're back, we need to focus on our power situation. So obviously this served us well for a while, but obviously it's not nearly enough. So what I'm thinking is I can probably hook up another one of these here. Now I do want to do that, but I'm thinking it might be better to just replace everything with wind generators. So we need osmium and redstone. Yeah, it might be better to just replace all of this with wind generators, because it doesn't need this bulky setup. It doesn't need all these pipes and whatnot. So it might just be better for me to do that. So for wind generators to be truly effective, they need to be high up in the air. So I intend to put these around, or at least near height limit, at least 100 blocks off the ground if I can. That's how these wind generators work the best. These are based off the height. And so if I'm gonna have them that high up, we're going to need a way to transfer that energy elsewhere. And that's where Flux Networks comes in. So Flux Networks is exactly what it sounds like. It lets you transfer your power or your flux or whatever you want to call it, your power through a network. Now, how do you do this? Well, you're going to need a flux controller. As you can see, it says enables wireless charging on your Flux network. This is how we're going to start charging our jetpack here. Instead of using the battery, we're going to be using our Flux network. And for that, we need the Flux controller. Now, we need a Flux plug and a Flux point. The Flux plug pulls energy from whatever energy cell or battery you have it hooked up to, and the Flux point provides energy. It gives energy to whatever you have it hooked up to. And that's basically, those are the three things. That's basically it. So for all of this, you will need flux dust, and you will need a lot of ender pearls, as well as blaze powder, so you can make these eyes of ender. And you know, that's obviously not an issue anymore, considering that we have plenty of eyes of ender, or plenty of ender pearls. And if I ever wanted more, I can obviously let this run for a bit longer. But yeah, so how do you get flux dust? Well, as you can see, you have to crush it with obsidian, and this has to be on bedrock. Yeah, so as you can see, you need to throw redstone dust into on bedrock, and then put obsidian above the bedrock, and then left click, and this will drop down and crush the redstone dust and make flux dust. So of course we're gonna get some obsidian. Keep in mind that this will destroy the obsidian, so it'll blow up. You'll need to bring multiple if you want to make multiple batches. We'll go ahead, we'll bring that much. We'll bring 4 stacks of redstone, and that's it. We can go to our mining dimension, and then we can just go all the way down here, since this does end at bedrock as well. Okay, so just like I said, just throw all your redstone dust here, and then right click, and there you go. Now there is a limit to how many stacks of redstone you can do at a time, but I am not exactly sure on the number of stacks. I think it might be 8 stacks before you have to, you know, do the thing again, but again, I don't know. And that's at a time, so you can do up to 8 stacks, I believe, at a time with a single block of obsidian. Okay, so we're back, and with all this flux dust, we can create our flux cores. Thankfully, I have a couple eyes of ender already. And we need more obsidian, but for now, I think this should be fine. So we'll create a plug, a flux plug, and then hopefully a... Oh, yeah, so I guess I do need some more obsidian. So I went and I got a full stack of obsidian. It was made relatively easy because, of course, we have a whole river and a bunch of lava. So, you know, that's always useful. So we'll go ahead and we'll make a couple of these, and then finally we can make our plug. Next is the point, and then of course after that it's the controller. I might run out of... yeah. I don't have much. Man, I really have to go back to the nether and get a couple more blaze rods. Okay, well, I guess we'll have to make do without. Oh, never mind. I hate how that does. Like, it shows me that I can make it. Like, as you can see, it says that I can make it. It shows that I can move all the items. And, of course, I can. But then here, now it says I can make it again. Right? So if I click this, I can't. It's just, you know, mildly annoying. I might just be missing more of those. Yeah, I still can't make it. Not sure. Yeah. Okay, well, I give up for now. Okay, so we have all of that, but we need more, right? We need a bunch of wind generators. Oh, how many did I have left? I had made an excess of energy tablets. I'm not sure how many I made, but I guess I made quite a few considering I could make 22 wind generators. But this might be a little excessive, which, by the way, I totally forgot to show the recipe, but wind generators are extremely simple. It's just osmium infused alloy, which we made in a previous episode. It's just redstone and copper, and these energy tablets, gold, redstone infused alloy. These basic control circuits are just osmium and redstone. So extremely simple, relatively cheap. Yeah, very simple recipe. So first, let's see how much power it makes. So it's making 104 FE per tick, but that's not exactly good. If you remember our previous ones, the ones in the mining dimension, they're making almost 300 FE per tick. So obviously this one is lacking because it isn't as high up. So it's not even better than this. So we'll go ahead and we'll get some building blocks. Or actually, there's a thing called the angel block, which lets you place it midair. Yeah. So we'll go with this and then we'll get some planks. And now with this, we can kind of just click anywhere and it'll place this block midair like that. And you can pass through this, but it is a solid block, so you can still build off of it, which is extremely useful for situations like this. So I'll just go ahead and I'll make this platform relatively big because we do have quite a few of these. Another unfortunate thing that happened was I burned my spell book. I don't know how it happened, but I ended up throwing out my spell book while I was in the nether, and it just burned up in the lava. So I had to make another one. So with this, I have no spells, so I have to create my spells all over again. But yeah, that was unfortunate. I just thought I should mention that in case anyone noticed the fact that I don't have any spells selected when I bring it up. Okay, so I'm back with some cables. And yes. See, now these are creating or generating a lot more power. Now, it's not as good as it was in the mining dimension, but I honestly think that's good enough for now. I don't think I really need to sweat the small stuff too much. Man, I ran out of cables. So I think what I might have to do is just put them side by side. or I guess in front of each other like this. We have 2 actually. Oh well, though I'll put them up later. We can put our flux plug, and of course create a new network. We'll just make it green because why not? And there you go. That is now connected. We made our network and we're putting energy into our network. Now if we go down here and we connect all of this. Okay, so now that we got rid of that, we can put our point anywhere connected to these cables or to a machine or whatever we want to supply power to. So I'll just put it here. And then we go to network selection from these tabs up here. It's going to be the second one from the left. We go to network selection and then we select our network. So you can see Sisyphus's network. That's me. And we can name this. So we can name this or processing. And that's it. Now this will start supplying power to all of our machines from the power that we're generating up there. Okay, so I decided to just bite the bullet and make the flux controller because I still needed a way to charge other things like my jetpack. Now that I don't have this slot from the emerald generator, there's actually no other way for me to charge these unless I go all the way up there and charge them directly at the wind generators, which obviously not very practical. So I decided to just go ahead and make one of these, and we can just put this anywhere, honestly. We'll put it here for now. So of course, again, go to network selection. We'll select our network. We'll just leave it as flux controller, and then we can go to wireless charging, which is the third from the left. Select where we want the things that we want to, be or get charged, like our curio slots, armor slots, hotbar slots, offhand and main hand, all those things. Select those, click apply, and now as you can see, our battery is getting charged. Now we don't really need the battery to charge our stuff anymore. We can just look at the FE on our jetpack, and that is getting automatically charged, and that is without any battery in my inventory. So something I wanted to touch on just briefly is that videos have been very slow to make, not only because I have to record hours of footage and then edit that down into at most 30-minute videos, but also just regular real life things. Recently I've had a lot of issues, just regular life stuff, and I've also just got a new job, so obviously that's gonna take a lot more time from my schedule, which means there's gonna be less time to make these YouTube videos for you guys. And I just wanted to touch up on that because that will affect my upload schedule and the videos I make and how long those videos take to make, all of that. So I just wanted to bring it up quickly. But yeah, that's about it. Unfortunately, I think that's all we have time for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe, like, or comment. Either one of those helps. But yeah, that's about it. See ya.